Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Amina. So today I'm doing a video that's done the rounds this year, I would say, pretty much. I saw this video trending quite a bit, assumptions about me, and I just thought it'd be a nice way to end this year doing a video like this. So I asked you guys on Instagram, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. I asked you guys to send me your assumptions about me, and I was kind of nervous because all the assumptions I've seen from other videos are quite negative or like quite judgmental. I got quite a few of them and I've kind of categorized them to help you guys jump to the section that you want to go and watch. I'll leave the timestamps for that down below. So I'm going to start off with relationships, and I had quite a few that was saying that I don't want kids which is an interesting one. I don't know how I would have come across as someone that does. I guess I just don't have any like children that I really spend much time with. My younger sister is 13 and I don't know any other babies. I don't know any babies or any child that's younger than her. Basically, I have no family in this country, so yeah, I don't really spend much time with children or babies, but I do love them at a distance. Do I want kids? Yes, I do. If I wanted to say how many, I'll probably say 3, purely because although I do love big families, I think in this day and age they cost so much, and just thinking about the actual practicalities of like going on holiday, getting a car, buying a house, having like 6 kids be a bit difficult. They'll be on top of each other. You come from a small family. Actually no, I just don't show my family online. I've got quite a big family. I mean, bigger than average I guess in London. 5 siblings, I'm the eldest. Then I've got a brother who came on my podcast once, and then I've got 3 sisters. So yeah, 5 of us I guess, and my parents, so 7 total. But it's pretty decent size. You got married young. No, I mean, depends what you classify as young. I got married, I would say, at an average age of marriage. My late 20s. I was 20, well, actually I was mid 20s. I was 26. I was 25. I was 25, yeah, 26. Don't know how old I am. I was 26 when I got married, so yeah, I mean, I think that's young, I guess, for the average Brit, maybe. Next one says, you went to school with your husband, and the answer is no. We didn't even cross paths in any shape or form at all. He's from West London, I'm from East London. We're just from polar parts of London, but we did spend 4 years literally treading on the same streets during when I was at university and he was working. For the first 2 years he was at uni, literally neighbouring my uni, and then for the other year and a bit he was working literally in the same location. So it's possible that we did bump into each other or walk past each other in those 4 years. I'm sure we did. Euston is a small area. I'm pretty sure we went to the same farmer's market at some point in those 4 years. But yeah, no, I knew him 4 months or 5 months before we got married. So someone said that your husband doesn't like your YouTube channel, and that is incorrect. He is a very private person, so if you googled his name, which I did when I first met him, you won't find anything. He now made an Instagram to essentially stalk my Instagram, but yeah, he doesn't have anything. And I think when I first met him and obviously he told me I had a channel and everything, I was quite nervous. I was a bit nervous about it at first. I thought maybe I'd have to kind of really separate our lives and kind of have like, that's my YouTube thing and this is what I do, and then we have our time. But actually he's really cool, doesn't really mind it at all. He sees how happy it makes me. If anything, he's happy to be in my videos, and he's asked to be in videos lots of times if I want to film anything and things like that. But I just don't think it's a good idea to put your relationships online for the world to judge and critique. I don't agree with that, to be honest. But each their own. This was really sweet actually. Someone said that you love children. There's just something about you that makes me think you're going to be a good mum. Ah, I hope so. And then someone said you're going to be a strict mum. I wouldn't say I'm going to be strict, but I'm going to be one of those, I feel like I'll be a pushy parent a little bit, to an extent. Just because I know the opportunities that there are out there for children and for adults. Like just as a person, I know how many opportunities that there are out there. I know the value of children doing things that they don't necessarily want to do. And I know that might sound controversial, but when I say don't want to do, I mean might be a bit reluctant. So something like, I don't know, playing an instrument or learning a language, they might not necessarily ask you to do that, but you can introduce to them, take them to a few lessons, see if they like it. I mean, if they hate it, of course, you don't have to force them and you can take them out. But I do think that it's important as adults to know the value of doing these things and being able to ensure that you're giving your child the best possible opportunity in life. Your life has changed since you've been married, and yeah, of course it's changed. I mean, it's changed in a good way. It's a different change. I definitely feel more mature. I definitely feel older. I definitely feel like I have had to make sure that I, you know, not compromise in a negative way, but compromise in the sense that take into account somebody that I'm living with. And that somebody is my husband, but also is a human being and has their own wills, desires, life, you know, expectations, and there is an element of compromise in that sense, which is why it's important to find someone that matches you as much as possible, so that your desires are similar and your interests are similar, or you both have different interests, so it's not like one person is always doing something and the other one feels left out or bored. So it's really important to make sure that when you are, you know, picking someone to get married, you ask them these questions, which may seem a little bit like kind of pushy or premature to ask, but if you don't ask, you won't know. So yeah, my life has changed, but in a good way. Moving on to friends, someone said that you are very cautious about who you surround yourself with, and that is true to an extent. It depends. I mean, I don't mind going out and meeting with random people, you know, for an afternoon, for a book club, or for a photo walk, or a run club, or whatever. Don't really mind that, but I wouldn't go every single week if I didn't feel like those people were uplifting me, or, you know, putting me in a good headspace. So yeah, I am careful in that sense, where I just don't spend time with anyone just for the sake of spending time. I might have less friendships than I did before when I was younger, but I have more that I would say I would value now. You have a small circle of friends. Correct, I don't really necessarily have a circle. So I know there's some girls that have like a big girl group of like 6, 7, 8 friends, and they spent the past, I don't know, 10 years together, and they're all gonna be bridesmaids for each other. I've never had that, and I don't think I've ever desired it in a way. It just seems like a lot more hard work than it is fun. Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone said all your friends are smart. And there's a lot of like, you are smart as well, but we'll come to that. If I think about the friends that I hang out with, for the most part, yeah. And when I say smart, I don't necessarily mean academically clever or academically high achieving or anything like that. But I do mean smart in the sense that they have their head screwed on, and even if they're younger than me, because I do hang around with a lot of girls that are younger than me, some that are older than me, some that are working, some that are not educated, not like I don't really care about that, but because I've met them through my walks of life, so during my PhD, during my masters, during my undergrad, they most likely have done a similar thing to me. So most of my friends have PhDs, a lot of them are doctors. It's purely because that's the environment that I've been in, so it has nothing to do with who I pick. It's more, I guess, where I hang out and who I hang out with. But yeah, I've no problem hanging out with someone who, I don't know, never been to uni. Like, it's not a thing to me at all. That doesn't matter. And to be fair, even when I go out with friends that we both, let's say, have PhDs, we don't talk about university or school or work anyway. Most of my conversations with friends have nothing to do with education. 99%. So yeah, no, not true, but a lot are, to be fair. Moving on to this section, which is probably the most commented section. Most assumptions were about this, and it was to do with my education / how nerdy I am / how smart, etc. And literally all, like, just scrolling through, you are smart, you have always been clever in school, you're really happy about your achievements, you've always known what you want to do in life, you got all A stars at GCSE and A level. Not true, but got all A's at A level. You're super intelligent, being an A-star student, don't need to work hard. Not true. You're a genius. Not true. Go-getter, you're really smart, really disciplined, really smart. This is a good one. You've always been a smart kid throughout your life. Okay, to address them, yes, I mean, okay, how can I put this without, I mean, these are assumptions about me, and I have to say yes or no, I guess. I do think I am somewhat intelligent. without saying that in the most modest way, okay? In the most modest way. The way I see it, intelligence is split into lots of different subsections. What we usually attribute intelligence to is academic intelligence. So if someone says to me, you're smart, most likely they're saying you did really well at school. But that's not necessarily the case, because I know loads of smart people or intelligent people who haven't been to school, who didn't have a similar education to me, but are still super intelligent. And there are loads of times where I'm sitting there and people are having conversations and I don't feel smart at all, purely because I don't know everything. So yes, in one way, I am intelligent when it comes to, or I'm smart when it comes to what I did, but what I did is such a small subsection of biology, and even within biology, like I looked at a tiny little cell, a tiny little protein. So yes, I'm an expert at one little protein, but I wouldn't say that I'm generally intelligent about everything. Not at all. In no way do I know it all. At school, yes, I was always a high achiever at school. I was the one that, I guess, the nerdy one, the one that knew, like, did all the homework, never got attention. That was me. But I was also very social. And then someone said, do you think university and good grades are everything? And I think this is quite similar to what I was saying before, so I'm not going to go too much into it, in the sense that yes, it means something. It does tell me that you are disciplined to a certain extent. I mean, that's arguable, but it does tell me something. It does make me think, oh wow, that's really cool, like, well done you. And that's how I sort of see it. So yes, I see it as a good thing, and I see it as an accolade, and I think it's something to be celebrated. If someone's done well and has achieved high grades, definitely celebrate it. But at the same time, I don't think it's everything. I do think there's a lot beyond that. And now that I've come out of the education, well, I'm still in it because I'm doing a master's right now. But now that I've like come out of the compulsory education of life, I definitely see how it's not everything, in the sense that you can exceed in a career, you can be a great mum, you can be, there's so many things that you can do that are equally, if not more important than just having a degree. Like raising a child is probably one of the most underrated, but the most important thing that you can do on this earth. Yet you don't need a degree for that. So, you know, there's so many things that I think are more important than an education per se, but I do value an education. So I value an education, but I also think it's not the be all and end all. Like, if someone didn't have a degree, it doesn't make me think any less of them, if that makes sense. Moving on to a few lifestyle assumptions. So someone said that you are a member of the 5 a.m. club. I am not. I'm a member of the 6 a.m. club though. So just take it to 6 a.m. and that's fine. I tried 5 a.m. and I have no issue with it. I can happily wake up at 5 a.m. I'm a morning person. I don't get groggy or need coffee or anything like that. So I can happily do that. And because I sleep quite early anyway, we are usually in bed by 9:30, 10, something like that. So if I wake up at 5 o'clock, I've had my good 6-7 hours of sleep. But I choose not to, just because I don't need to. I get so much work done during the day. I don't need to wake up that early to do it. But 6 a.m. I do. So most working days I wake up at 6 o'clock. On the weekends I also wake up at 6 o'clock. So yesterday was Sunday and I woke up at 6. Saturday I woke up at 6 as well, just because I find that it's a bit of quiet time. My husband's still asleep. I just get up, get some work done, look at my channel, edit a video. I find that I'm a lot more productive at that time. There's a lot less distractions, and because I did wake up so early, it's such a pure time of the day that I feel silly wasting it on my phone. So I tend not to, whereas in the evening you're more likely to sit there looking at your phone, just because it's the evening and, you know, you're just relaxing and it's okay. Whereas in the morning I definitely feel a lot less willing to waste time. So the earlier I wake up, the more I can get done, definitely. Someone said that you are an extrovert, and I don't know, I've never done the test, or I don't know how people classify themselves. I think people tend to think extrovert, loud, makes friends, goes out, social, and then introvert, quiet, humble, modest, I don't know, timid. But I don't know, I feel like I could fit into both. I grew up an introvert for sure. When I say grew up, I mean like when I was young, primary school young, I definitely wasn't an introvert. I think I was really quiet and things. But then at home I wasn't. I don't know. I don't think I fit into any of this. And I don't think you need to. I don't think I have to label myself as one or the other. But I definitely am very social. So I know that I can be very extroverted. But I also don't necessarily feel like I need time to recharge. So this is where, again, me and my husband are quite different. When we first got married, we had to kind of set those barriers and those boundaries a little bit, because like I said, I'm someone who can chat all day and then go to sleep and I'm fine, and wake up next day and be fine and continue doing that. Whereas I think my husband, if he spends a lot of time socializing, which he's totally fine doing, he will have to come home and then sit there for like half an hour and just be quiet. He can't just carry on chatting to me. And I think that was something that I learned about him, and that's absolutely fine. And it's just something that I don't necessarily need to do, but it doesn't mean that one person's an introvert or one's an extrovert if they choose to do one or the other. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a test and find out. So someone said that you are a fitness fanatic, and I'm not sure where you got that from, because yes, I do love to make sure that I'm staying fit, and I don't show much of what I do on social media. I mean, from time to time I'll show it, but yeah, most of the time I just go for a jog, or I will make sure that I'm always walking, taking the stairs, just taking the long route instead of taking the shortcuts. That's kind of the small habits that I picked up from my mum, and I think that's why I try to stay fit in that way. I went for a swim earlier today as well, and I don't know, I just feel like I don't necessarily follow like a regime. I don't follow a dietary plan. I did intermittent fasting pretty much the whole of last year, but I mean, I don't feel like that's a diet. It's just a way of kind of regulating what times you eat, which is fine. I live by, in general, the rule of moderation. I think that's a very Islamic principle to live by as well. Just be moderate in everything that you do, in your lifestyle, in the way you practice your religion, in the way that you practice your life, in the way that you live your life, in the way that you have your friendship, in the way you spend your money. Just in everything you do, moderation is key. And someone said that you never cry. And true, I actually don't. It's not that I'm heartless. I do have a heart, guys. I do, I promise. I haven't grown up around people that cry. That's what it is. I think like all my siblings, parents, I just haven't seen. Obviously, when something bad happens, like death, or I don't know, like a sickness or something like that, pain, that naturally that's going to make you cry. And that's obviously, I cry during those situations. But generally, I'm not like a hormonal crier, or it's weird. I find it weird. Anyone else like that? Let me know if you find it crying weird. I find it weird. Not because I show my emotions quite often. I mean, I'm very vocal with how I feel. It's not that I'm afraid of like showing emotion or showing weakness. It's just that I just find crying excessive a little bit. I don't know. It takes a lot to make me cry. Like I said, the last time I cried, I think was maybe 2 months ago, when my close friend passed away. I went to her funeral. Of course I'm gonna cry. That was probably the last time. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not for me. Okay, this is a good one. Disorganized person, I guess disorganized people or places irritate you. 110%. I cannot deal with people that don't have organization skills. And when I say organization, I mean you can do what you want at home, you can do what you want in your bedroom, in your life, at work. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't bother me. What bothers me is people that can't be at places on time. Irks me so much. It irritates me so much. I mean, it's not hard to schedule how long it's going to take you to get somewhere. And yes, it's fine if things don't go to plan. I understand that. It happens to me as well. But every single time, come on. Let me know, guys, if you're someone that's like that. I just can't deal with lack of punctuality. To me, what it says is I don't respect you. And I know that's a big statement to make, but when I'm late and I'm running like 2 minutes late or 3 minutes late, like that's probably the most late I'm ever going to be, I send a message to that person beforehand. I feel so guilty. I'm so anxious because I'm like, I just need to be there if that person's gonna be waiting for me. Like I said, I'm not being extra. I do know that things happen and I'm absolutely fine. Like, of course, I'm understanding, and it happens to me as well. But there's only so many times you can forget, or only so many times that you're half an hour, 1 hour late. Like, it's just ridiculous. Someone said that you are not from London. And yeah, I mean, do you even follow me? I am. What do you mean? I'm the most Londoner. I'm the most Londony person that you'll ever meet. I'm always raving about London in some way, shape or form. I'm born and bred in London. East London. Newham General Hospital. to be precise. And then the last category were to do with money, and I know this is a topic that is quite sensitive. A lot of people don't necessarily talk about it, don't like to talk about it, but I'm quite open. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how much I get paid or anything like that, but I'm quite open about talking about how to save, how I've saved, what I've, you know, how I paid off my loan, things like that. I think it's really important to do that, because if you don't talk about money, how is anyone going to be able to learn from mistakes or be able to, you know, improve on their financial literacy? Someone said that the bulk of your income comes from YouTube. No way, Jose. The bulk of my income comes from my job, my main job, which is a teaching research post. So I'm an associate researcher at King's College London. I don't know if I mentioned that before actually, but yeah, I'm there. And I also do my PhD research, and I'm also publishing my paper for my PhD right now, and I'm also enrolled at Sheffield University for a master's course on educational research. So yeah, on my I'm basically doing like those two things, and that's what gives you the bulk of my income. YouTube doesn't give me, I mean, it gives me a bit. It does give me a bit. As of late, a lot more, I would say. A lot more, like a large percentage of it. But again, I have quite a few income streams. So that you have a rich family, and or you come from, I think you come from a rich family, and the answer is yes, comfortable, yes and no. You didn't have a mortgage or anything, and I think that definitely eases the financial burden quite a bit, even if your earnings are less. If you're paying £1.5 every single month to a mortgage or to rent, that takes a lot out. When you don't have to do that, it does make life a lot more comfortable. Someone said that you find saving easy, and the answer is now yes, before no. Before I didn't know how to save. I didn't know what I was saving for, I think. And I think also just being young, you've been given money for the first time, you know, get a student loan, you've never seen 4 figures in your bank account before. You haven't seen 3 figures, let alone 4 figures. And you're given this money, and you just want to spend it on something that you've never been able to spend on before. So I used to go out and just buy clothes or just random, like a straight note, random things for silly amounts of money, purely because I could, and there was no element of having to save. Whereas now I know a lot, like obviously I'm saving for something, but also I just know that it's not worthwhile wasting money on something that you're probably gonna like temporarily and then hate or dislike, and then just end up leaving it. So I'm a lot more careful, I would say, with how I spend my money, but I'm not like a huge saver in the sense that I have like a massive spreadsheet and I'm really careful on what I spend. I definitely spend money, but I definitely make sure that I've saved what I want to save, and then the rest of it I can do what I want with. At the end of the video, it's probably going to be a bit of a long one. I feel like what you see is what you get, so there shouldn't be anything that was a surprise in there, but if you did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know how you found it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!